Morning and welcome to the Tuesday, February 18th. Wednesday. It says Tuesday on here.
Yeah,
It
sorry.
does.
It's Wednesday. Monday was a holiday to buy mattresses. Wednesday, February 18th, Eidelweiss Board of Commissioners meetings. It's 9 a.m. Call the meeting to order, and the first thing we do is approve the agenda. I think that we need a non-public session for contract negotiation.
Okay.
And I don't know if you would like to have a public session if we want to do a non-public session. You have that option. You were talking to Nancy about it last week.
What?
If we had a non-public session that concerned you,
Correct.
you have the right to ask it to be public.
So there's disciplinary action?
No,
Is that what you're stating?
I am not.
Okay, well, that was stated to her. So you're taking, she's not, I guess, not explaining to you all of the whole conversation.
So your answer is,
Well, I don't understand what you're asking me. If it was disciplinary action to be taken, then it would be my call. But you're saying there's no disciplinary action, so I don't find that it's necessary.
there would be no disciplinary action without a discussion. Are you in agreement with that?
Right. So
Yes.
it's your call whether you want it to be public or non-public.
So are you
There's
discussing?
no vote to be taken.
Are you discussing disciplinary action? Is that
It
what's
may lead to
intended?
that, yes.
Okay, then yes, we can make it public.
Okay.
Okay.
We have no plan to do it this week, but we had to ask that because we
Oh,
want to make sure.
wonderful. Thank you, Nancy.
So with the modification, any other changes to the agenda?
No.
No.
So we'll have a non-public session at the end of this meeting. Approval of the minutes of 2/6, which was the budget hearing.
Let's go back to agenda.
Oh, we need to
Second.
vote on- Second.
Aye.
Sorry, how do you vote?
Aye.
3-0 on the agenda.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to discuss and approve the minutes of February 6th, which was a Friday. We had the budget meeting last Friday at 6.
Second.
Discussion on those minutes.
At 6:28, at the end of that paragraph, there's a typo. And that's the only thing I found on those.
Was the typo? You need to see it.
Do you have them up?
No.
I do now.
I'm trying to find them. I
At
usually print those out.
6:28, you say?
Yeah, 6:28. There's like a random.
Bunch of letters. I have 6:18, 6:25, 6:38.
Well, I wrote it down as 6:28. That doesn't.
Do you remember what the subject was or who was speaking?
I was hoping somebody had a copy.
Well, we'll hold off approving these minutes until we can get that in front of you so you can see it.
Okay.
So we'll go to, we won't take a vote on that. We'll go to, I'll make a motion that we discuss and approve the minutes of February 10th, which was last Tuesday.
Second.
Discussion.
I had a few things. Where is it? Okay. Under approval, the manifests, when I saw that with the amount initially was 113,803.81, I was scratching my head saying, no, that can't be right. So take the one off. Before it was 13,893.81 was the initial amount. Then we corrected it later, which is fine later on in this paragraph, the 10,549.63. But we definitely didn't do 113,000.
Gotcha. Yep.
Then on section 4, DPW report, bullet point 2, it starts dealt with small winter event. Dealt is spelled incorrectly, you just need to DEALT. Okay, and then the 4th bullet point, continue with high winging versus continue will high winging, so just,
Yep.
again, minor typo.
Yep.
And I think that's all I have.
Okay, under signature items, and verify this one for me if you would, it says,
Request for absence for Jennifer for March 16th and March 17th.
yes, and it says that I second, but it doesn't
No.
say who makes the motion. And I believe it was Mark.
Mark.
Yep.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope, that's all I had.
So those modifications, how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0 on approving the 10th modification. So now at 9:06, we'll go to the approval of the manifest. And it doesn't say operations, it says payroll. So, let's see.
Because it's strictly payroll.
So it's paying 4 employees and an ADP processing fee and tax liability.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the total is $7,297.82. I'll make a motion to discuss and approve this manifest.
Second.
Discussion.
Looked fine.
No, all good.
No vendors this week.
Nope.
We have no signatures, that's why.
Right.
How do you vote on approving this manifest?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0. Now at 9:07, we'll talk to Jeff about DPW. Good morning, Jeff.
Hello. Well, we're just chugging along. Trying to, like I said, get the roads in shape for the weather that's coming and what keeps happening. You know, as far as thaw
You're
and
late.
freeze and thaw and freeze. You know, and drainage issues. You know, again, the more snow we get off the roads, the better off they're going to dry out. And then also getting prepared for what might be coming next. You know, something on the weekend here, and
Mm.
you know, we're into a little bit of an active pattern, they say, although we haven't seen anything yet. But they keep talking about it. Something possibly, you know, 50% here, 30% there. But, you know, whatever comes our way, we're ready to handle it, and going to keep preparing for it.
Rubber cutting edges yet?
We haven't put the rubber cutting edges on yet, but it's definitely something that's been bouncing around in the forefront of my brain, at least maybe on one truck. But yeah, you know, I almost put that down on the paper there with a question mark, because it is something I'm thinking about, you know, we're thinking about. But no, you know, and we got a couple of things that have popped up with, I think, the frost heaves, which is kind of funny. And with the lack of pavement that we have in the district, we've never really had much of an issue with frost heaves that I can remember over the last 10 years. But that spot on Blendon is definitely heaved up quite a bit. It hasn't been a problem all winter, but she's heaved up this now, and the spot on Oak Ridge is heaved pretty good, which is weird. Something that happened a little bit earlier on in the winter, and then it kind of subsided, but it's popped back up quite a bit. So there's a couple of spots that we got to be careful about on our end going over as we are doing some plowing for the rest of the season.
As far as Blendon, we have a warrant article to raise $17,000 to crack seal all of it, but not repair. We had discussions. Do you think you guys want to do a repair on that?
I think it would be wise if we did something there before the crack sealing was done. You know, I think if we, again, I think our thought of that it's the material got put in too high at the sub base, and then the paved over, so it made it higher is correct.
I think that when that water hookup was done, new material is trucked in, so it doesn't match the material in that area, so it heaves at a different rate because it's not the same type of material.
Yeah.
The old timers would always put the same material back in because of that.
Yep. Yeah. Paved roads. That's
my theory.
That's definitely common. Well, and that's could totally be the part of why it is too. There is a very thin layer of hot top over that, which is why it's definitely shifting as much too. But so the combination of things like that. But I think if we dig it down, compact it out, and lay some more material in there as a patch, and then have them do your seal over the top of the whole road.
So maybe when we do the water project on Lugano, which requires the hammer to come in, I'm thinking that the hammer cracks all the rock,
Right.
and we should look at that with the DPW and decide if there's more rock we want to get while the hammer's there, which means more asphalt to replace,
Right.
and then time it so that we're doing the asphalt on Lugano and doing the repair job on Blenden
Yep.
while you're in the asphalt mode.
Right. Right. When is the crack sealant?
Well, I've been thinking about how to do that, and it's coordinating when Simply Water can show up and put the new water hookup after Black Dog gets it all open and cracked,
Right.
and then deciding how we backfill, who backfills most efficiently,
Yep.
and who excavates the cracked rock out of Lugano. He can't do that with his hammer,
No,
unless he
no, no.
shifts the hammer off and puts his bucket on.
Right. So like we were there hauling material for him and
Last
the
time,
other
so-
stuff. So
So is it our backhoe and you guys, or is Simply Water bringing their mini excavator in to do that?
which
Those are the things that we have to decide, so
right.
I don't like to hit you with it, have you answer, so I'm
No,
giving you.
no, just kind of getting an idea, like you said, if you had that crack seal job lined up in early June or something, then that may not correspond with Black Dog and Lugano and all that. That's why I'm saying, I mean, I guess it's not something we'd have to pave right away either. We could leave it kind of gravelled over and pave it at a later date.
Right, that he could come in and do we wouldn't be holding up the crack sealing.
Right, that's what I don't,
Yeah.
right.
Good,
So,
so think about that.
yeah,
Because soon we'll have to ask Black Dog to block out a schedule after we nail down
right,
Simply Water.
right.
We have to have them lined up to come in right after Black Dog is ready to
their
have them
job.
do it.
Yeah.
We get timing like that all over the place.
Oh,
for
I
this.
know. Yeah. There's a house lot on Blenden 2 going in, I believe, on the paved part. I don't know if there's any paperwork on them getting a water hookup at any time soon or anything like
At
that.
the very bottom?
No, up by the top, in the paved part. They had an excavator there in the fall. They cleared a bunch of trees.
Oh,
Right.
right before,
Yeah,
the
before
bend.
it gets up on the bend and then before it turns to
Right.
dirt. Just wondering, because that's gonna have to cut the asphalt, I'm assuming, to get the water, if the water line's on that other side of the road.
well, that will happen right after we fix everything.
Of course it will.
We get to control that a little bit.
Well, that's
They
what I'm
haven't
saying,
applied.
if something has come in on that, it's something we could think about, kind of cutting the asphalt at the same, again, I don't know, but one of those things, that's why I thought I'd mention it.
Good point.
But yeah, so that type of stuff here, like I say, the high winging, we got the whole district high wing back and now and crowded back. Yeah, those spots on Blenden, that's about what I have right now.
I have as part of my commissioner's reports to talk about the strategy on the trucks, and I thought we might do it now while Jeff is here so we can get some feedback from him,
Yes.
if he has any.
Yep.
So, last week, we met to push the application for the Clean Fleet grant forward.
Right.
And we talked to Mac Bevier, Samantha,
Sure.
and we divided up a couple of projects and we got that done. And during that process, I was thinking, because we were talking with each other about what do we do if the grant doesn't come in. The order's gonna be that we have an annual meeting March 6th.
Right.
And I'm thinking about an idea that we write an email to Mac Beviers, pointing out that it would be great if we knew that we had the grant before we went to the annual meeting.
Mm.
Yeah.
Not that she can do anything about that, but
Mm.
I think it might be worth just sending her an email pointing out that if it was possible for them to get it to the Governor's Council before March 6th, that would greatly influence what happened at our annual meeting.
Okay. Well, I'll be in close contact with her this week because there's two things that need to be done. Is once we sign the documents, I need to scan them and send her scanned copies, and then you'll recall she asked for then the actual physical copies. So it's going to be email with the scans, which I want to get done today, and then get the physical copies mailed out absolutely no later than tomorrow. We're beating the deadline. They said they wanted everything by February 20th, but that means just physically seeing on the scans. They don't get the snail mail post until a little later this week. But I could drop a little note in there too.
Well, I'm not trying to put additional pressure on you.
No. This is on my plan this week. This is
Okay.
important.
Yes.
This is important.
Huge.
And
So if there's another thing I can offload you on.
No.
let me know.
I got this all under control. I was gonna do this in my commissioner's report, but I'll say it right now. Was I have all the documents ready to sign, and I went out to print. We had to get a new grant agreement because they listed the old 80% price. Well, we now know that old 80% price is overcome by the fact that HP Fairfield came out with a second quote, which was about $10,000 less than the initial one. So she said, "Yeah, no problem. I'm sending it to you." And I should have opened it up last night. I opened up this morning, and it still had, how like in Microsoft Word, you got the notes on the side for editing comments, but it's a PDF, so I can't change that. So I told her, I need a new one because we're going to sign that this morning. She did send it to me, but it was too late for me to print it out before I left the house to come here. But that's okay. You're going to sign it today, no matter what. I'll get
Well,
to
we'll
you.
have it on record that we voted to sign it.
Yes.
So we can vote to sign it out of session.
No,
Right.
I will. Yeah, I'll get you to sign it today when I print it out. I got the other documents for you to sign. It's mainly you, and that way I will get everything done sent to her today via the email scans.
It's huge.
So, one of the things that happened at the public hearing that I sensed was maybe the most important thing that the hearing wanted to give us as feedback was the maintenance line items for the old trucks. Should they go away because both warrant articles pass?
Mm-hmm.
I think we heard that twice during
Yes.
that meeting. And obviously, the audience saw that we were having warrant articles that were sizable for two loan lease agreements on two brand-new trucks. We didn't really get into a discussion ourselves on our options on the different scenarios that could happen in the vote. What I'll lead off with is a scenario where we go to the annual meeting and we're discussing the Western Star, the more expensive of the two trucks, the one that could qualify for the clean fleet.
Right.
And say we don't know whether we got the grant or not. There's different options of how we present that, and I think we can talk about it now and get feedback so you understand what it is that we're deciding. So here's a scenario. We get to that warrant article and we point out that we have to buy the truck first.
Yeah, that we have to.
We have to raise the money with the warrant article for the loan, sign the loan, start to acquire the truck. And then if we had awarded the Clean Fleet grant, they would reimburse us in 90 days for upwards of 80% of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we say to the voters, if we do not get the grant, the commissioners do not buy the truck? Because we have this other truck on the warrant. And that's where Jeff's feedback could come in is, if we were in a position we had to get one truck or the other, which one do we get? And how do we represent the Western Star to the voters? if we didn't have the award already,
Mm-hmm.
we would have to tell them, we need you to vote yes to even stay qualified to get the award.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
I think we need to sort of spin that to the voters and spin in a good way.
I don't like- yeah,
Okay,
I don't
all right,
like spin.
okay, not spin.
Explain. Explain.
Explain. To sell, whatever.
don't like sell
Okay,
either.
all right. Forget sell, forget.
It's 2 strikes.
Okay, yeah, no 3 strikes. Let me think what I'm gonna say here. Okay. All right.
Just go.
Well, okay, we can explain to them that, you know, getting this grant, it's a gamble. It's a gamble, okay? We may not get it. Or we may get some of it,
Right.
okay? It could be 20, 30, 40, 50. If we get the full 80% that we asked for, then boom, our debt obligation is wiped out completely. And you got this incredible truck that clearly the DPW guys need, that we already know. And I think my sense is the people administering this program, Mac and Jack and the others, I'm getting the sense from them that they really like us and appreciated the work we put into it, the fact that we followed all, you know, they haven't had to come back a whole lot of times and say, do it this way or make changes. But obviously it's ultimately up to the GNC Council to make the decision. But I have a feeling they get some input saying this is a worthy candidate. And they already know that the truck, the International, is ancient. That's exactly what they want to get rid of off the road. So yes, it's a gamble, but I think we have a very good shot at getting some, if not all.
So, you just made a good point in the middle of that is, it gets even more complex is that we don't get an 80% grant. And then we have a decision to make. It would be the commissioners that are making a decision, and it would be part of our explanation at the annual meeting of how we presented that. So let's incorporate your point. We tell the voters that if we don't get more than 40%, we don't buy it. I'm just throwing that out to say what the scenarios could be here. I think during our explanation of the warrant article, we have to point out that we have to make a decision at some point after it becomes clear whether we got the award or not. If we get no award, do we make the promise in the explanation that we will not buy the truck? Or are we going for both trucks? We already told the state that we're not buying this truck unless we get the grant.
We didn't explicitly state
I
that.
thought we did that in
With the phone
the
conversation?
form.
Um,
When we started working on it in the office,
that's true.
that was a major point we made.
That's true.
Right.
Well, yeah, we put that in. We said that if we don't get the grant, we would just continue operating the 2009. But the thinking there was that, well, you know, that's not, they don't want that. That would be in our,
Careful.
yeah. So I guess we could do that. I'm just afraid that we're then just kicking the can down the road.
Well, that's the conversation, is if we turn to Jeff, put the spotlight on him right now, and told him he has a choice of one of the 2 trucks. It's his choice, which one does he get this year?
Oh, I know his answer. It's going to be both.
That's a tough decision. Bearing the issues that we've had with the Rams, with the equipment on the Rams, most parts. I mean, obviously the 19 and its issues and the truck end of it as well. But that big truck is so useless to us. The International, almost, you know, and we get by with the Rams because we push them to the limit. You know what I mean? In the storms, where if we had a truck capable of more, I think that I'd be out in the bigger, or you know, we'd be out more in the bigger truck. If we had a truck that was capable of covering the district more, like the Western Star would. So I mean, that's a tough one to go for.
I know, don't you wish Tony was here?
And we know we need both.
I know,
We know
and I
this.
get that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be on the conservative side here,
Right.
to
And
say
the other
if I was
issue
going to
is-
make a choice on which truck to get,
The other issue is the 18's gonna have to be replaced, maybe not next year, but probably 2 years from now. 'Cause that's-
Right.
So let's stay with what the
Right,
decision
right,
is
right.
this year.
So,
Okay.
I know
mean,
that,
All right.
we get that.
if it was gonna be a decision, I mean, boy, if I could change it like in a couple of days, but I'd almost,
Well, we don't have to firmly
it today.
decide today, but we need to start this conversation before we get to the
Right.
annual meeting.
Yeah, I mean, you and your team should
Right.
have some input, if it does come down to one or the other, which is gonna be the one that's gonna serve you and
Right.
your what we require you to do
you know,
best.
my thing is, I mean, it's hard, because like I said, I don't wanna keep dumping money into these rigs.
I'm gonna get to that next.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
what we
another thing
keep
that
doing,
came
you know what I
out,
mean? And the international, boy, like I said, sometimes I feel like she's on borrowed time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're all on borrowed time, right?
Yeah,
We can't look at them as ticking time bombs, but they are.
right.
Right.
Right, and that's why, you know, that's,
That's the nature of all plow trucks.
right,
And-
exactly.
I know part of the discussion was, would we be changing the
Maintenance line?
maintenance lines?
Well, let me talk about that. Okay, 'cause we understand that the first question we're asking ourselves is not an easy one.
Right.
We're all agreeing with that.
Yeah.
So we can all cook on that, and we'll bring it up again, because this is an important one. Because we want to be very clear at the annual meeting, so
Right.
we really need to hash this out. So this is not the end of this conversation. So we'll jump to that part of it, because that's the other thing that came up at the, going through the minutes, replaying the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of time thinking about what they did say. And here's the dilemma with that. Our intent is to not order the Western Star until the second half of this year. If they approve it at the annual meeting, regardless of whether we get the grant or not, if we do acquire it, we're not acquiring it until the second part of the year, which means we're maintaining the international. We have maintenance bills already
Mm-hmm.
for the 2019 and the international. The crowd was saying, well, if we buy these new trucks, can we just wipe these maintenance lines off the annual budget? We can for what's expected to have happened in maintenance for the time after they're gone, got
Right.
replaced by new trucks. But we have bills already that we have to budget for,
Yes.
and we have to have a budget to keep the international going until sometime in the second half of this year.
Right.
So how much can we really knock off?
50% at most.
That much? I didn't look at the numbers yet.
Well, remember, we
We're getting
we gotta
big-
go on last year's
big maintenance
numbers.
bills already.
Right, and you know, you can't throw out maintenance as far as the grader and the backhoe either.
Well,
Right.
You know, there's maintenance on those.
in the budget, it has the pieces of equipment broken out
Okay,
as to how much it got charged against that piece of equipment.
correct.
But those are actual expenditures. For the budget, it's just one lump sum that we put in.
Right, so we have what's already been spent, would have to forecast out what we could be spending for the international and the 2019. So that's a little work we have to do.
Right.
Right.
But you follow what I'm, the
Yeah.
basic,
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't eliminate like whatever we spent last year from whatever we're budgeting this year on those particular two vehicles. So last year we spent 12,000 on the 19 and 11,000 on the international.
Mm-hmm.
So all told, let's call it 23,000 and change. I got the sense that at the budget meeting that people are talking, then we should be able to, reduce whatever we're budgeting. We're proposing 65,000, so they're saying you could reduce that maybe by about 23,000. But what you're saying is no, because these trucks are going to go for at least half this year. So.
so do you wanna should we spend a little more time making a separate sheet for ourselves, saying this is how we would model out what could happen this year before the annual meeting?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a matter of taking how much have we spent this year so far on each of those vehicles.
So should we make a motion to ask Jennifer to pull together what's already been expended this year on those, because to do this, we would need to, as you're
Yes.
saying, we'd need to know.
We need
that.
those numbers.
Yeah, we need to know what
So
actual.
I'll make that motion that we ask
Okay.
Jennifer to pull those numbers out of QuickBooks as to what was spent on the international and the 2019 so far this year.
Second.
Aye.
Is there a drop dead date that you want? Because they keep coming in weekly. So.
That's the point.
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
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 We have to represent this.
I think it needs to be a running, I mean, you.
Weekly running
Yeah.
tally.
In
Yeah.
other words, we would need an amount spent right before the annual meeting, what's actually been
Oh, totally.
incurred.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't, like,
That
we
would
could
be a
only
slide.
fine tune our decision, like 24 hours ahead of time or something.
Okay.
Yeah, but if we look at it next week to see what's expended, we'll have a better hand.
Oh, absolutely,
on
absolutely.
which way we wanna
Right.
Yeah.
look at. So it will
Okay.
be a couple of,
We can start tightening our figures.
Yes.
But I would say we don't come up with a final figure till a couple days before the annual meeting.
oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay, Nancy, second?
Second.
How do you vote?
Aye.
3-0.
Hmm.
One more before we let Jeff go. This is just a little one. We are gonna make a short presentation up front, I believe, Bob Ingram was asking us to do, on where we are with all of the FEMA projects
Mm-hmm.
and what the cash flow looks like.
Mhm.
And so, at the pre-budget hearing that we had in November, if you remember, we had a get-together and
Mhm.
we got feedback then that led us to how we're gonna present this one, this budget. The group briefly discussed the idea that we keep the budgets flat, that we don't take a dip in the actual operating budget in line items that seem to be the same as what we're doing with FEMA money and FEMA projects. And they agreed to keep the tax rate flat. So what I'm heading towards is the idea that we keep the operating budget flat. Right now, I think we have close to a 3% increase.
Yeah.
And what I'm notioning to you to see your initial reaction is that the line items that at work, they're gonna be in the area of the FEMA projects that we're gonna use FEMA money to do. Can we drop those line items, example, gravel, to bring the operating budget flat and try to flatten out the tax rate before they get to the warrant articles, where they have to decide whether they're gonna increase the tax rate based on approving warrant articles, like trucks.
So, let's
Follow what I'm
see.
saying?
I do.
Okay, so gravel, we kept it flat to the budget of 2025, but actual expended last year was $11,469. So that was flat from last year, the budget.
Right, I'm not saying keep that flat, I'm saying drop that one.
Drop it,
To keep
okay.
the bottom line flat. Where can we reduce line items comfortably because we'll be doing FEMA projects with FEMA money this year? In other words, we might not have time to spend that gravel money. Gravel's easy though,
Right.
just buy it and spread it.
Right.
All right, so that means we need to make $13,731 of cuts to bring it flat to last year's budget. So, if we chop down gravel from 20,000 to 15,000, just saying. Let's see. So that's minus 5,000. If we did that, it could be something different. Now
Why
we got-
not drop it from 20,000 to 3,000 and get your 17 in one fell swoop?
You could. What's your rationale behind that, as opposed to chipping away at some of the other line items in the road work?
Because I'm not sure that we need that line item this year because of the FEMA money that we wanna spend before the 31st to get reimbursed again on that same money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, we will get reimbursed if we spent the line item towards a FEMA project, but I'm trying to make it easier on the pocketbooks of the voters if we can by doing this little exercise right now.
Okay, so let's just, okay. Fuel was flat at 25,000. Repairs, maintenance of the shop, not vehicles, flat at 15,000. Salt, we increased from 18,000 to 19,800.
I wouldn't touch that.
Okay,
Yeah.
sand, we increased modestly from 9,000 to 10,000. Culverts and basin, we doubled from 2,000 to 4,000. Gravel was flat, 20,000, 20,000, so we could chop that down by 13 is what you're saying. Communication equipment repairs stayed flat at $1,100 each year. Dust control, 14,000 each year. Subcontract equipment, we went from 2,500 in 25 up to 8,000 for the proposed 26. Asphalt went down from 25,000 in 25 to 20,000 in 2026 proposed.
I'm not sure we would need to discuss contracting. I don't know, we haven't discussed at all whether we're bringing Belmore in this spring to do culverts and basins.
I have to go.
We have to look to see what they look like when the snow's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that the basins are in pretty good shape with what we did last year.
Seeing how we never did them and we did them the first time last year.
Right. I mean, not to say that, you know, I wouldn't get off. I don't want to get off the rotation.
So I would not touch that until, that's a hard one, because now we have to wait until after the annual meeting
Right.
to see what those look like.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can't touch those line items. I don't think we need to anyway.
Okay.
Something like-
Asphalt, we need, because we don't know. I'm seeing parts of Eidelweiss Drive near the
asphalt's
dam.
been taking a beating because we know what
'Cause of
the
the heaving.
asphalt's what the condition that it's been in over the years too.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way, at the selectmen's meeting last night, Michael Brooks was saying that Madison is seeing the same thing that you're talking about with heaves. He's saying driving the fire engine down East Madison Road is like
Oh, it's brutal. I have to take my kids skiing down there.
you're hitting their heads on the roof of the cab.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's pretty nasty. Something that I don't know if you can do it or not, but I mean the line item for the dust control, we got 2 loads last year. Now the second load didn't. There's still a substantial amount in that.
We're gonna put a lot of gravel
I know
down
we're
this
looking to
year.
put
We're gonna
down more.
wanna really treat it.
So you don't want to kind of mess with that.
You don't
one
wanna
at this
mess
point.
with that.
Okay, I'm just saying. I know we got a substantial amount still left over.
All right. Well, if we just do it easy, like you said, if we eliminate $13,730 from the gravel, we still have $6,270 remaining in that proposed budget for gravel.
And that gets us to a flat bottom line.
Yes, that would bring us to the same
Good.
what we budgeted in 2025.
So let's hold on to that thought
Okay.
as we approach the annual meeting.
Okay.
We'll put it in the minutes to remind us that that's one thing we want to do at the annual meeting is, if that's still true to us, by March 6th, then that's what we'll do. Any other questions for Jeff?
Just, I know you sort of discussed it before, but what was your thought process as trying to address that nasty frost heave at the top of Oak Ridge? I did take a look at that, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It was worse than I thought.
Well, we looked at it yesterday a little bit, and I mean, we might try to put some patch to it or something like that. But again, I don't think it's bothering anybody driving over it at this point. What it's going to do is, I got to be conscious of it plowing.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
I mean,
I'm
I just
concerned
go
about.
real slow. I know I've been doing it all winter with it, and I just attack it, as it is, and just take it nice and easy. But I got to take another look at it. I don't know if I want to go cutting anything out and try, because it has settled back down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you have to wait until,
I just think I wanna let Mother Nature
It's
kind
all
of do
thought
its
out.
thing, and like I said, make my guys aware of it, so when they're in the trucks, that they don't go at it,
Mm-hmm.
cowboying it, you know?
Wow. Hmm.
all right,
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Have a good afternoon.
you too. So at
9:40.
9:40, we'll move to commissioners' reports. One of the things that I need, or we need, is Exhibit A from the original, from the current sheriff's tower agreement. And I think we're gonna find that that is a poor quality copy that was done years ago of a PDF, and it's probably crooked as the original agreement was. I think I remember seeing it, but it's not part of the document right now. We need that to be part of the document.
And we need to, do we need to change the insurance numbers in this agreement
Well,
so that we re-sign it before the sheriff will sign it?
that's the non-public session.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So to focus this, I'll make a motion that we ask Jennifer to look in the file for the sheriff's tower agreement and see if Exhibit A is in there. And if it is, we need a Word document version of it.
Okay.
Second.
Aye.
How do you vote on that, Nancy?
Aye.
3-0 on that.
So you want me to do a search through the computer to find
Any way you
it?
can find it, yes,
Okay,
but I'm
well,
hoping it's in a paper file.
if it's a paper file, how do we get it in a Word document?
You type it.
Uh, hmm.
That's the sheriff's tower, Exhibit A.
Yeah.
I asked, I sent an email to Ian asking him if he had any idea what type of pipe actually came down into Como. Because Bernie needs to know how he's going to attach to the existing water main when he puts in the PRV
Mm-hmm.
pit on Como. And Ian's answer was that he expects it to be Schedule 40.
2-inch schedule 40?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So I did a little research on that and I was surprised. For years I heard that Schedule 40 was irrigation pipe. It was not the right type of pipe to put in. So I did a Google search and was surprised to see that a 2-inch PVC Schedule 40 pipe can take pressures between 230 pounds and 280 pounds.
That's plenty.
I wondered if it's the way they glued the pipes together that was the problem. So anyway, then I looked at Blue Brute, and it depends on something called the diameter, the DR rating of the pipe. And I was surprised by how low pressure rating can be on certain Blue Brute pipes. But anyway, I sent this to Bernie to let him know that Ian says it's a Schedule 40 pipe coming down, 2-inch pipe coming down, so that he knows how he's going to attach to it. I got an email from Holly Evans of New Hampshire Emergency Management regarding the Grissom culvert
Ooh.
and trying to get the engineers at DES to give us some guideline of
Right.
what they want to do. And she asked me to tell her when it was that I started to communicate with them.
Huh.
And I found an email from the middle of last year, I think it was June, and I copied Nick. Holly and I were carbon copying each other on the emails back and forth. What she's saying is, let's get the names of the people that we tried to communicate with, and try one more time with us knowing that you're doing that. I need to talk to her to find out whether she tried to talk to these people or what her group decided to do. But the next thing she's saying is, and I said, I really need to talk to Nick because Nick had another guy named Carl, and he didn't have his last name, Carl with a K, that he was waiting to hear back from. And I think Carl was suggesting a elliptical culvert, which is different from the arch culvert that was in the emails that I was sending last June. So I want to make sure that we're all talking about the same type of design we want to have, which may now be an elliptical culvert, which is a squash culvert to Holly. That's the way New Hampshire talks about it. So that's where that is. So I need to talk to Nick and make sure that we're all saying the same thing before we go back into pushing DES again.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only other thing I have is on the work completed files that we get on Jeff's notes. The file name comes in as a scan name. It doesn't say the name of. It doesn't say work completed in the dates.
The email does, not the actual document.
Right, but the file doesn't. And that makes it difficult is that then I go to use the files to
So
do
you
the
keep
feed.
you keep the files separately from the emails?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what file systems do. Because then I have
Your
to
file system.
I have to email these files to New Hampshire. So they're saying,
So are you saying that his notes are part of what you're submitting to them? Because that.
no, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, because that was
I need,
never.
when I have to go back and look at all of these files to lay out the entire period, it's not telling me that this file has, the email does.
Yes.
And I don't go back and reference the emails, I put all the files together into my FEMA folders.
You can rename files, can't
That's
you?
the point is, am I doing the administrator's work? So I'll make a motion to say that these files need to get the work completed with the dates in the file name.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference to us, so I would say yes.
Well, that's a second?
Second.
All right.
Okay, so you made a motion
Yep.
to start naming these files?
Yes, please.
With the dates.
Yeah.
And that's all I have for my report this week.
Okay, so I'll start off getting back to the clean fleet. On the grant agreement, remember I told you that this is what they sent you. So we got a new copy, all right, but
Oh, boy.
that means you guys can't sign it yet, but I want to make sure. It says here, if grantee, meaning us, is a municipality or village district, which we are, by signing this form, we certify that we have complied with any public meeting requirement for acceptance of this grant, including, if applicable, RSA 31:95-B. So I'm going to make a motion that even though we can't sign this physical form right at this moment, we will sign it today when I get the clean copy. That under grantee 1, grantee 2, grantee signature 3, that's us 3. That we just sign and put our titles in. And that's all we have to do on this form, and we have a clean copy. So,
And that's
Second.
the agreement.
right, the grant agreement.
Yep.
Mhm.
Second.
The 9-page agreement
Okay,
with 24 super small print font
yes.
of the legalese.
And then, when
Okay.
You
when
made
I-
a,
You
you made a
didn't-
motion and I seconded it. We need to vote on that. So that's, that we will sign it and sign it out of session.
Yep.
How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye,
Please.
Okay.
Okay.
okay. And then it's not only a signature, there's also initials on each page, and it looks like you only need one person, but I'd say all 3 of us just initial it, and I'll fill in all the dates, which will be today. Okay, and that'll take care of once we get that done. Then for
I read
the,
all those paragraphs too.
so did I, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of small stuff, but none of it's unreasonable. for what we could possibly getting. Okay, so this,
You could screw up this program though,
how so?
by not doing the reports and gathering the data and submitting it at the times that they say.
Oh, yeah,
And
no,
then you're
that,
agreeing that they can take legal action
Yes.
against the grant.
yeah,
Oh,
right,
boy.
that's not gonna happen. I've already contacted Jeff as to what
I want everybody to know these grants all aren't sunshine and lollipops.
no, they're not all sunshine and
They
lollipops.
usually have some pretty interesting
do.
hooks in these things.
Yeah, there's some,
Nothing serious here that I can see.
there's some black licorice in
I
there
mean,
as well.
I think
yeah.
we're gonna
Right.
perform on this well.
Yeah,
If
no,
we get the grant, I'm not concerned about that.
I'm not concerned. The reporting is pretty minimal. It's easy to do. You just have to make sure you submit it in the
Quarterly,
in
For
the
2
timely
years.
fashion. Yep.
and an annual report, we don't even know what those look like.
Yeah.
They said they'd send us templates. That's what Max said.
Yep.
Okay. So the other form that we can sign right now is the certificate of vote of authorization, of which you've been named. So,
Yep.
So that's just where you print, sign, and date.
So I'll make a motion that we approve a certificate of vote of authorization
Mm-hmm.
for the Clean Fleet grant.
Second.
How do you vote?
Aye.
All right, I'll sign this. Today is the 18th?
18th.
Yep.
2/18/2026.
Okay.
Now, I emailed you the certificate of insurance. Did you send that to them already, or?
That's this thing
They
right
want
here.
a hard copy? Yes.
Okay. All right, so yes, the 4 things they require are the vendor code, which they already have, so we don't need to give that again. Certificate of insurance, the certificate of vote for authorization, and the grant agreement. So I'll be sending them 3 things once we get this all cleaned up. And
How do you want us to sign that when you're ready?
I'll find you. I will track you
Okay.
down. I
All
will
right.
hunt you down. and come,
know where we live.
wherever you are,
Okay.
I will find you. Okay, so that takes care of that. And then the only thing I have to report was I'm happy to say that I took 30 minutes and put on my assistant village clerk hat and went up to check our record storage space to make sure everything was okay. One, it was dry as a bone, so no weather incursion.
Good.
All the new repairs we've done to it means it's really secure, so no human incursion, except for me. Unfortunately,
Pets? You have pets up there?
no, I didn't bring a pet. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of rodent incursion.
That's what I meant.
I saw. Yes, they're not
Yeah.
pets. There was some evidence, but very minor, of a little bit of mouse activity up there. But then what I did was I went through. I did a spot inspection of numerous boxes with all those to see if there's any nests. It was clean. And the
Good.
place looks like Doug has that place totally squared away. You could see he left everything where he left off, so that when he comes back, he can just jump right back into it. So thank you, Doug, for all the work you've done up there. It looks in great shape, and I'll probably inspect another time before the winter's out to make sure everything is secure and good. But right now, it's perfect
I'd
condition.
like to put some time in up there when it's warm. So,
Yep, I think we all should do that. The party like we did a couple of years ago and got 50% of the records whittled down.
Yeah,
So-
2 of us weren't commissioners at that point, so at this point, if we did it,
That's
it
true.
would have to be a public
Public
meeting,
meeting.
and saying that we would be at the caban,
That's
be
true.
at
Yeah.
the records storage
That's true.
for X amount of hours or whatever time. So we would have to make sure that we set it up properly 24 hours in advance so that it can get posted that we're going to be together. Or separate them. We can separate
Yeah.
them. Go
Okay.
different days.
Go different days.
You know,
I see.
depends on, I don't know what, none of us know what Doug's schedule is going to be,
we'll deal with that when he's
So
ready.
we'll deal with that when he's home.
We'll just play that by ear.
Yeah.
The point was if we decided to do that, we could probably knock off that other. It's less than 50% now, and in a matter of a couple of days, spread out over spread out over the season. I'm not talking about consecutively. Okay, that's all. That's all I have to report.
Okay. There was an email, I think, where we talked about, or it was questioned about the sanitary survey. The sanitary survey is something that the DES requires. They do it every 2 to 3 years. And yes, that would have been an appropriate time for Ian to meet with whoever he met with from
Unger.
DES.
Michael Unger.
From Michael Unger. So that is something that just happens every 3 years. And it's the water operator that meets with the DES representative.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure that everybody has that. The water emergency section, action plan. I went through it. They changed some of the formats, but basically all the information is still the same as it has been since they started these things. So I guess I can work with Ian on finalizing that over the course of the end of this month and March, so that we have it submitted prior to the end of March, which is when it's due date.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Lisa has that, so.
Yeah, so I can work with them on that. And what was the other thing I had? And this is probably my own brain not remembering. We had some discussion a week or 2 weeks ago on a work order for 95 Eidelweiss Drive. Did we sign that work order? I'm trying to remember. I have it written down as a question as to whether or not we authorized that. It was a homeowner that contacted?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
there's a
I
renter.
proposed the
A renter.
question,
Right.
yeah. If this was something we were gonna bill the homeowner.
Well, I saw them doing work on it. It was in the driveway itself where they were digging down, so clearly it was on the homeowner's
No, it's-
side.
So yes, it would be something that we would bill to the homeowner.
It was several feet.
Okay,
from
so
the
can you
property.
respond to that email that I sent regarding that?
That was 95?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we vote on it now?
Yeah, gonna make a motion that we bill the homeowner for any work done on the homeowner's side of the curb stop valve at 95 Eidelweiss Drive.
Second for discussion. Any discussion on that?
No.
How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. And that's what I had. And I will have the warrant, the warrant, the motion log for next week.
Okay.
mm-hmm,
Before we move off commissioners' reports, I wanted to comment on the job the EPOA did this past Saturday with their skating event. They had great turnout.
Sunday.
Was it Sunday?
Yeah, it was
Sunday the
The
15th.
holiday throws us all.
It does.
It was in the mid-30s, and they had it well laid out. They had a fire pit on the ice in a container.
Yep. So
And there were about 40 skaters and maybe 15 to 20 revelers. They didn't keep track of me. I overdosed on hot chocolate and Oreo cookies.
I was told that Woody was too busy working on his truck purchase
Yes,
to come play.
on a clean granite.
that's mostly true.
While Kerry was doing his
Yep.
figure skating exhibition, and
Right.
had people applauding. And
Right. Well, thank you for keeping her propped up.
One
I didn't want to deal with broken bones with her.
of the things I've noticed is 2 houses down from where the skating areas are that you guys set up. People have shoveled out their own skating area,
Yes?
and they took one of the hockey nets off.
Really?
It's down. There's only one net on the area that you guys set up. Now the other net is away from. Who owns those nets? Are those Brandon's?
I'm gonna guess Brandon.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer. Probably Brandon.
Be okay if they wanted to use it and brought it back. but they didn't bring it back.
Good to know.
So maybe I'll,
Let Brandon know.
Brandon know that.
and I'll offer to help him drag it back if he wants to drag it back. Because dragging that through the snow is not so easy. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to water at 10 o'clock on the dot.
Yep.
And the first one is a work order for bleeder on Lucerne. I went down and looked at that and sent you guys a picture.
Mm-hmm. Saw the picture, yep.
So,
So you good with that work order?
do we have a copy of it, or we're just approving the work order itself
Just that,
from the email?
mhm.
I'll make a motion to approve this work order number 3-2016-26,
Second.
Okay,
Aye.
Aye.
3-0 on that.
yep.
Potential leak on 8 Little Shore. This is one that Noah found, if
Yes.
you remember the email.
Yes.
So that's good that he is looking for these.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion that we approve work order number 4-2026.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
3-0 on that work order. No scheduled appearances. Mitchell Municipal, additional January invoice. Under administrators at 10:01. This is the invoice that you had a question as to whether it goes into this fiscal year or last fiscal year?
No, it was a question as to, does anybody know what these additional charges for January were for? Because there's no indication really
For
what it
January.
is. Yeah.
I must have missed that email.
Because we did get one about that agreement that you guys signed.
Mm-hmm.
This, I have no idea what this could be for.
Drafting negligence claim to complaint. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, so would you wish me to inquire with her what this is regarding?
Makes sense. What complaint with
Let's
this?
let Nancy get a look at it. The only clue I see on there is negligence complaint. I have no idea what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, certainly. Question.
Yeah, we need to know what this is. There's not enough detail to, because this is not ringing any bells with
Could be
me.
another client they sent to us by
Yeah.
mistake.
Right.
So do you want to make a motion for that?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that you investigate what those charges are specifically for.
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0. So, old business, DRA pre-review status for 2026 warrant articles.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that I get a response hopefully today.
From the DRA?
Yep. So Nancy will have to make time to come in and review that.
Yes. Yes, and there's a couple of tweaks we're gonna have to make.
Yep.
So we're waiting on that.
Yep.
FEMA reimbursement, agreed amounts to be listed on operations and
Yeah, that's
So I saw that, so I think the only 2 projects that are active are the Grissom Culvert,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the 40,000 plus. So that's one project that we should have on the spreadsheet. And the other project is the roads project, ditching and surfaces. So it's basically two numbers.
Yeah, so you guys need to talk how you want it displayed and the amounts, so that's all in agreement.
Wouldn't we take just the total amount, and then figure out what the exact amount is for the A&E for the Grissom Culvert, then subtract that amount to the total amount? So we could call it that, Grissom Culvert A&E, FEMA money?
Yes?
Okay,
And the
so
other one, road and ditching work, is the balance.
this is kind of a display, so you have an idea.
So that stays the same.
Mm-hmm.
Just break these into two. It got cut off by the printout, but
Well, yeah.
one is road ditch work and the second one is the Grissom Culvert
Grissom.
A&E.
Yep.
So this is what we have right now, total FEMA money is the 261,816? Am I reading that correctly?
Yep,
Yep.
Okay.
And that says pending approval.
yeah, so you
Do
guys
you want
should
us to go
appro-
through all the payments?
Well, you need to be sure that it's the correct amounts. I don't wanna display something that might be incorrect.
Okay, so we need to know what, the easy thing is, one, start with how much FEMA money do we actually have in the bank right now? Total amount to the penny.
And that's the total amount that,
Mm-hmm.
The 261,816?
correct.
Right.
Okay. So then the next thing we need to know is exactly how much was the Grissom Culvert A&E?
We back up before you get off that.
Okay.
You said bank account. What bank account is that in?
Operations,
So it's not separated out as FEMA money in a bank account.
correct.
Right. It's just sitting in a cash account, that's all.
So I guess the question is, are we doing accounting for the village? Is that what the administrator does?
But I'm not sure it's accounting. It's merely how much money we've received from FEMA. It's sitting in our bank account, and the idea, just so we know where we're at,
Right.
is we're splitting this amount into two amounts. Let's just, for argument's sake, say the A&E is 40,000. So one amount's going to be 221,816.74, and the other's going to be 40,000. And just proper. Am I off base here? And then label it what it is. Because as work starts happening, let's just say again it's 221. I'm going to round it up. 222,000 for the road and ditching work. That number is going to start getting whittled down as we use it.
I guess I'm saying, who's responsible for the accuracy of these numbers?
Well, that's the administrator, but we need to check it.
Yes,
How?
agreed.
Good question. I'm not sure how. How would you do it?
Well, I've
What's your
submitted already at least twice all the backup of what we've received from FEMA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have actual paperwork saying
Correct.
when
Yeah.
the check came in.
The
Yep.
emails, yep.
Yep.
Okay, just a matter of just adding them up. And I have no problem if you send me those emails. I could do a double check
You
ad.
have the emails.
I'm sure I do. But
Yeah.
if you sent them all in one email, everything we've gotten,
Yep,
then I can just quickly add it up and
Yeah.
double check. I mean, it's simple addition, but I'm more than happy to do a double check.
well, I think as commissioners, you should, so you understand where you're starting at, and
Right. But
when you advise what's gonna be deducted from it, there are adjustments, so,
okay, so you do the first chop, and we'll do a quality assurance check, so we're all in agreement.
Mhm.
That there's no problem.
that's the point of why it's
Right.
here.
So we'll wait for this number to be broken into two sections.
Right. I'm assuming the money for the A&E, the Grissom Culvert A&E, was one check. That was one
It
check.
was.
It was
So that's
one
easy.
direct deposit.
That's easy.
Yeah,
I don't know how many payments we received for all the other monies from FEMA. 2, 3, 4. I don't know.
3.
3. Okay. let's just say it's 3, so that's,
And another one hopefully coming in.
okay,
Right.
Right.
so, yeah, if you just give me those, just add them all up, subtract out the Grissom, and then, give me the same and I'll just do a double check.
Yeah, exactly.
That's easy.
So that's FEMA reimbursement. The third bullet is SCADA, historical data. I'll make a motion that I send a friendly reminder to Fritz at EEI.
ELL.
Second.
Yes,
Discussion?
no discussion.
All right, I'll send another one, copy everybody.
Yep.
I guess we gotta be really the squeaky wheel with these guys.
I think 20,000 should be squeaky enough.
Well, you think they'd want to be greased, but
Life must be good over there.
yeah.
All right, so at 10:11 we moved to signature items, and
We've
you already
discussed all
covered
that.
those.
Discussed, yeah.
And I see no correspondence. There were no emails from anybody in the village to the office last week. Public appearances. This is your cue, Bob. We have to interrupt whatever you're doing every week and ask you if you want to say anything.
Nope,
Nope.
I'm good, thank you.
Did we ever answer the homeowner that requested the specific RSA that
Oh, yeah.
addressed the?
I took a
you
look
brought
at that.
That is not a 91A request. That is a statement of, please have this information available prior to the annual meeting, and we
Okay.
have every intention of doing that.
Okay. All right.
Was this proposed at the office that I sent to you guys? I don't recall this.
No, it was a resident questioning the RSA that gets referenced for changing the last line of the pond ordinance.
Oh,
It's
that's
the
right.
same one we used
Gotcha.
last time,
Yep.
last
Yeah,
year.
that
So
was
I just gotta
a
pull
few
that
weeks ago.
information, and I haven't had a chance to do that, but I will.
I did, and you saw the response at the when you came to the office.
Yes, the initial
Yeah.
response. I don't know if she's come back with anything else.
Nothing.
No? Okay. Yeah, but we
Yeah.
will definitely make sure that that is
Oh yeah.
part of the information available
Okay.
prior
Then
to the
that
annual
fulfills
meeting.
our obligation. Yeah.
Yep.
So there was more email after the initial email from a person that watched the video of the budget meeting and asked the question about which RSA was being talked about. There was
Yeah,
another email
Nancy
after
and
that.
I talked
There
about it when
was-
she was at the office.
Yeah,
Just one
yeah, the
email.
office sent the general response.
And no response back from that person?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So Woodard and I didn't see what kind of response from
There was no response. Oh, you mean from us?
email from the office
Right.
back.
Yeah,
You and I didn't
Nancy
get to
was
see
at the
that.
office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. I just wanted to follow up on that.
So we went through, we already covered public appearance, we already interrupted Bob. Non-agenda items, none. So I'll make a motion that we go into non-public session under RSA 91A to discuss a contract negotiation.
Second.
Roll call vote at 10:13.